The Hitchhiker Chronicles, Tome 1. Hitchhiking What a Trip, Chapter, A Friend in Need, A Friend Indeed, cover page. What is friendship, and what is a friend? There are various levels of friendship, either short or long-lived. Others are life-lasting time. Same thing goes for friends. Some of those that we've met in our life turn out to be bogus ones. Those ones, we always find them out a little too late. Obviously, once they are, one way or another, unmasked, that it took only 5 minutes or a lifetime for the mask to fall, once fell, they have to be stricken or scratched from the list. The true friends or buddies will be discovered and definitely recognized as such when you'll be in trouble, or as I might say, in shit. In deep shit, a little shit, but in shit anyway. Some will help you disregarding their own safety without thinking twice. Others will help you with money that you don't really have to spare. Some will help you by their unwavering physical and moral support. As for myself, I never have yet to climb in the lion's den to prove, or a lion's cage, to prove my real friendship to anyone. Who knows, maybe one day. But some have practically done it for me. The true friendship is found in adversity. It doesn't have any social class, language, skin color, or religion. Chapter A Friend in Need, A Friend Indeed. Budapest, Hungary, October 11th, 1997. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to start hitchhike again from Cutie on the Slovak-Czech border in Brno direction. I might have some problem crossing that border. This is a recap of the last 5 days. October 8th at 6:05 on the Athens-Belgrade train, I met Dawn Bennett. She's a young 27-year-old Australian tourist industry expert. She mostly works for various resorts. She just finished working on the Greek island. I believe that it was Mykonos. She will be traveling to Poland, Germany, Sweden, England before her next contract at a ski resort in Andorra. So now heading to Belgrade. By the time we got there, by 1930, it was already dark. We witnessed some of the after-Kosovo War stigmas. Lots of beggars, extreme poverty on the street, since I was out of money and I had to wait for the next morning to go to the bank to get the cash that my friend Ramon was sending me. Dawn paid for the hotel. Then went to eat at a bar restaurant halfway from the train station. Wow, what a welcome. When the lady owner learned that she was Australian and I was Canadian, she brought us in her little kitchen to choose our order. She opened her tiny fridge, compared the portion, big or small. They set us up on the patio while we ate, and we got introduced to Drago. He spoke just enough English to say, almost 100 times during the night, "My friends," to both of us, and "I love you" to Dawn. A little later, Drago offered us to drink a beer. She accepted. I refused, but opted for a coffee. He refused, telling me in a shabby German, according to Dawn, that with coffee my heart will explode. He inquired if we were a couple. Dawn said no. He bought us both beers. So we drank a beer in Drago's company. My friends, I love you. Half an hour later, we decided to leave. We went inside to pay and to thank them for an incredible welcome. It is now impossible to leave. We are obligated to drink one more beer, then another, and another. When Dawn went a bit wobbly to the washroom, I saw Drago and another man winking at each other. I believe they discovered their plan of attack, which to get us both pissed drunk. Since it looked like I was not much of a drinker, I didn't drink much anymore, but I drank a lot before, it would have been easy to lose me and grab Dawn. Anyway, we got back to the hotel by 2:30, completely wrecked. The wake up was a little rough. Got to find a bank. We found a bank, but no instant teller. Okay, now, I have no money. What am I supposed to do? Dawn said to me that her dad once told her embassies are there to help you. You pay taxes, so they should be able to lend you some money when you are stuck. We asked around for the Canadian embassy. Well, it is only 2 street block away. I learned there that there was only one bank with an instant teller in Yugoslavia, but it was not hooked up yet. Great economic crash before and after the war. The embassy, and that was the war in Kosovo. Now that was bad. Now there was a war there, right? But 3 years after, so I didn't want to see that because that was pretty rough then, before that war in Yugoslavia. The embassy lent me $100 US to get immediately out of the country. No problem, let's go. Budapest bound. We changed some money for local currency to buy train tickets and food. Before taking the train, impossible to re-exchange the local currency left over. That currency is only good in Yugoslavia. They don't want it back. Finally, a cab driver agreed to exchange that currency for us, well, we lost a little, for 30 Deutschmark. Since I owed it to Dawn, I gave it to her. The rest of the trip on the train went very well. We arrived in Budapest by 21:30. At 2200 I phoned Steve, but it's already too late to go there. They are already in bed. So we found a private night accommodation with a lady. We found a private night accommodation with a lady, supper included. We bought our little room there, and she bought us, so it didn't cost much. In the morning, I am already broke. I checked at the bank, no money. I told myself that Ghislain, Raymond's boyfriend, didn't have the time to deposit it. Friday business day, I'll go check again around 2100 Budapest time, so Penticton, noon, local time. In the meantime, Dawn and I walked sightseeing around most of the day. She got around to reach on the phone the parents of one of her friends, Judith. That told her while in Greece, she was working in the hotel, and they were clients, and they told her then that if she was ever in Budapest, to come by and visit them for a while. But now, it's easy to say there when you're over there, but once you're over here, but now, very rich parents, they live in one of the Budapest's most posh area. So she learned at 1700 that Judith was currently away at school in Switzerland. That even though Judith's mom remembered her very well, how she was nice, bright, and energetic, well, she didn't offer to take her in at all. In fact, all she could do for her was perhaps try to find her a cheap hotel. Rich people sometimes. Dawn didn't know what else to do. Then she told me about another Judith that she had met at the same hotel that she worked at in Greece, and that her parents had saved up all their lives so they could, at least once, be able to go on a family holiday. Dawn said they are poor. I told her to call them. They will welcome you in. She called the other Judith by 1900. Dawn talked to her dad. He told her that Judith would be back by 2100. He asked her where she was. She answered Budapest. He inquired if she had the address. She said yes. Then jump in a cab. He's going to pay for it and quickly come home. And the guy, just get in a cab, get the address, and I'll pay for it. Never mind. As she was getting into the cab, I mentioned to her that I had some times ahead of me, and if she didn't mind, I could spend the next 2 weeks with her before our next contract, right? Well, just hang around, whatever. She categorically refused. The last 3 days spent together was the most action that she could handle, so definitely not 2 weeks. So I kissed her goodbye. I hope to see her again one day. Before she left, and Cheerios. It had been quite a while since I spent 3 days with a woman, nothing sexual, but she started to grow on me. Then I called Steve at 1910. I learned from his wife that he had to leave the country for state business. He's a private driver for the head of Hungary-Germany Industrial Chamber, and that she was leaving the country also for business, and Gabber, our son, wasn't there either. I guess I won't sleep there tonight. Okay, I go back to the bank, the instant teller, no money. I wait until 2100. I tried again, no money. I start to freak a little, and the rain started also. While freaking around with the phone book at a public phone booth, I was trying to figure out how to do a collect call from Hungary to Canada. I let a guy use the phone and heard him speak French. Once he was done, when he was done, I asked him where he learned his French. He is French national on holiday. We talked a bit. I tell him my story, and then Gerard from Béziers invites me to eat with his friends. Thierry from Toulouse. He visited the Gaspé Peninsula before he stayed at the youth hostel, the chateau, the castle, at Point de la Garde, the guard point, and Danny from Nantes, 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 I don't know in English, Nantes, Nantes. We shared a delicious pizza at Don Pepe Pizzeria. I would recommend Don Pepe Pizzeria not only for its food, but also for the quality of the service and the extreme beauty of the 8 waitresses, like the top model, man. We laughed a lot during supper. After the goodbyes, I went on a quest for an instant teller and a payphone. It's almost midnight, so 1500 Pentington time. When I reached Raymond, she told me that Ghislain had deposited the money that morning, and they told him that it was in there already. I told her no money. She said that she was going to the bank to see what was going on. I said, okay, I will call you back by 1800, which is 3 for me. 3 a.m., of course. At 1:30 a.m., I tried again, and it worked. I took a cab, 800 florin, found a motel, 3,800 florin, about $27. I called Raymond back to thank her. Wow, that 5-minute phone call cost me 2,400 florin. In Italy, I had busted my bank account by 300, so she had to deposit another 300 to give me an accessible $100.